Hey everybody, this is Thunder. Let me apologize for the lighting in this hotel room. Best I can do, sorry. I want to talk about this latest incident, the Chattanooga affair. The Chattanooga bullshit choo-choo rolling on down the railway. Okay, let me start off by saying that I never watch TV. I very rarely watch TV. Probably haven't really steadily watched it in, 20 years? But my son lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I heard about a shooting there, so I decided, well, guess I'll break down and watch CNN. And I've been watching it off and on since then. Uh, Let me tell you, people, if you haven't watched TV in that long a time and you go back on there, you really see the bullshit. You can really see the lies, the manipulation, the propaganda. This whole Chattanooga thing is a crock of shit. And I'll tell you why. Because 5 minutes after the shooting started, 5 minutes, maybe 10, after the breaking news initial reports were coming in that somebody had been shot, they had talking heads, talking heads on CNN, supposedly from Department of Homeland Security or other agencies, FBI, whatever. All that was coming out of their mouths is ISIS, 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 ISIS. Well, we know that ISIS and ISIS this and ISIS that. It's like they didn't even know the friggin' shooter's name yet. Okay? And they were already pushing an agenda. Now, let me just say something right now. You don't know, I was going, man, these guys, they're not even waiting for the guy. I don't even think the guy was shot yet. The guy that was doing the shooting, I don't even think they had even shot him yet. And they were on there, yeah, this is definitely probably connected to ISIS and blah, 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 blah. Hello? How would they know that? They wouldn't. Period. End of story. So from then on in, I thought, well, shit, I'm going to watch and see where this shit's going, where this agenda is going, what they're going to push here. First, it was a big black gun. One of the witnesses said, "Oh, it was a big black gun." Black person said that. And it went pop, 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 pop. One right after another. Okay, well, there we go. There goes the agenda. The assault weapon thing. All right. And the guy was supposedly at two different places at the same time. With I guess he just got there awful quick. As things rolled on, during the day and in the succeeding days, I saw just total ultra K mind control, NLP, hypnotic, program the people crap, okay? Because it jumped from one big black gun to like now it's two, and then it became two in a handgun, and then a bunch of Marines got killed, and then they started parading the dead bodies and the Marines out. And this guy got 2 Purple Hearts, and this guy this, and this guy that, and this is a threat to our military. And then they started doing the ISIS thing, and then they started doing the gun control thing, and they started doing this, and they started doing that. And you don't know anything about the guy, and he was a nice guy, and all of a sudden he's not a nice guy because he went and took a trip, and now he got brainwashed by ISIS. Stop, please. Let me tell you right now, ISIS, and I've always said this, are CIA. They're CIA operatives, okay? So yes, maybe CIA did use Ultra K on him, and maybe they did brainwash him, and maybe they did take a perfectly good, outstanding, came from a good family, was a martial artist. Martial artists don't do this stuff. Martial artists don't flip out, and they're taught restraint. They're taught. The guy was an engineer, had an engineering degree supposedly. How do we know they didn't just make this whole guy up? How do we know they didn't just make all the Marines up? We don't. Now, you're going to say, well, there's the people, the parents of the family and the parents of the guy, and yeah, we know. Well, look at Sandy Hook. They made a bunch of stuff up about that. Look at 9/11. Now let's just say that this is a real person and the Marines are real and all that. Well, then they'll just jump on it. They orchestrated it somehow. Okay? It's orchestrated whether it's after the fact or during the fact or before the fact. They're orchestrating their agenda, and they've got several agendas they're hidden here. Trust me, they got the gun control thing because it jumped to a handgun too. Okay, we got to cover handguns. And it jumped to, now they even worked in a deal. Now listen to this, listen closely. Now they're even working in the internet deal, okay? They're saying, well, this guy was obviously contacted by the internet through some encrypted means and blah, blah, blah. What? What? People, you really got to, I mean, trust me, for someone that hasn't watched TV and to turn on CNN and Fox News and just see how they parrot and how they get the talking heads lined up and how they get all the friends of the victims lined up. I mean, boom, 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 like that, overnight, like it was already staged, already happening. And you can see them hitting their agendas, boom, 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 gun control, internet control, ISIS, terrorism, scare the people, attack on our military, blah, blah, blah. If people believe this shit, I really feel sorry for them. I really do not watch CNN, do not watch Fox News. Think for yourself. Think for yourself, because this stuff that they're feeding you is, they're just reeling you in. It's a crock of shit. The Chattanooga bullshit choo-choo train, leading you down the track, leading you astray. And this isn't the first time this has happened. This happens with every incident. And of course they shot the guy, so he'll never be able to talk, or they'll never be able to be questioned. And what about the father? Do we really hear anything from him? Is he interviewed? I mean, look at this stuff, people. Now, whether it's totally manufactured, every freaking bit of it, staged, manipulated, or whether they jumped on some incident of some guy just being disgruntled and turned it into a giant ISIS, the guy that shot that thing, for all we know, might not even be the same guy that they're parading around on TV, named Abdul disease or something. Okay? When I saw that name, Farid Abdul blah blah blah, man, oh my God, are you kidding me? Did they make this name up? Did they take a bunch of letters of the alphabet with Z's on the end? And it's unbelievable, people. And I really, no pun intended, it is unbelievable. It's not believable. The way they line this stuff up, the way they agendicize everything, their agenda, okay? ISIS, gun control, let's get a handgun in there, let's get some Marines, some decorated Marines, so people will have the bleeding heart syndrome. Oh, God damn, they're attacking our armed forces, and these poor guys that were awarded Purple Hearts and all this stuff and just died at a recruiting station. And I mean, I just have to shake my head and go, people, I mean, I laugh my ass off sometimes. Not out of malicious humor, but just because if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. I mean, it's a joke. And people just suck this shit up. They just suck it up. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Oh, poor this, poor that, the poor, poor Marines. And then they go, the poor, poor guy. They even got you feeling sorry for the guy. But then he got brainwashed by ISIS. Okay? And so it's all this bleeding heart. They use dead bodies of perfectly innocent people to promote their agenda. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Let's say everything is totally true, but they're using these dead bodies of these people to promote their goddamn agenda. Okay? And I see it as plain as the nose on everybody's face. And if you can't see it, you need to wake the hell up. This stuff's getting old, people. This stuff's getting real old, and it's whipping up here into a climax, okay, or the climactic agenda, this terrorism thing, and think of all the Muslims that and normal Muslims that are not radical or just being stigmatized. This is the same thing they did to the Native American. This is the same friggin' thing. Called them savages, stigmatized them, blamed everything on them, and eradicated them, committed genocide on them. If this wasn't so ridiculous, I wouldn't even be reporting on it. I mean, I would just go, this is just, I have to shake my, but I got snared into it because my son lives in Chattanooga, and I got on the phone with him, and I talked to him about it, and talk about picking a place out of the clear, and it is the South, right? We got the Jade Helm thing. I don't know if it's connected. We got the Jade Helm thing going on, all southern states, and we got the Chattanooga, we got the Confederate flag thing going, southern, okay, all of a sudden Chattanooga, southern states, southern Jade Helm deal, southern, what's with the southern thing? Okay? You gotta think outside the box, people. You can't label people that think like me. And I hear X22 is the guy that does X22. He's coming out probably saying the same. I haven't watched it. I just heard that he might have come out with something on the Chattanooga thing. He usually debunks everything, and I'll have to check it out. But there's people that are awake. There's people that are aware. There's people that are thinkers. There's people that aren't stupid. Like I say before, I've been licensed by the FCC, the FAA. I've gone through security clearances. I've worked with special forces at one time. I'm a pilot. I'm a certified meteorologist. I'm a writer. I'm not some bullshit guy just coming off the top of his head going, yeah, man, watch my YouTube videos. So I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about how many hits I get. I mainly make this for the members of the CAMPFIRE Council, which is a small group, tight-knit group of people that are naturalists and survivalists and live by native sacred tradition and think outside the box. Okay. And if you're interested in joining, the link's down there, but I'm not promoting it. We're happy with what we got. We got a small group of people. We got the bases covered. We watch everything. And we question everything. We question it. How could this be? We question authority. No problem with that. So, and we cover the world, and I personally use different means of communications to talk to people outside the grid, off the internet. So I don't just come on here to spout bullshit. I come on here to tell the truth, and the truth is that there's just way, way too much bullshit coming out of the mainstream media, CNN, Fox News, and just lining right up like these are guys just puppets, strings being pulled. Say this, say that, get these witnesses on, let's show the hearses for the Marines that died, and let's show this, and let's show that, and let's talk about ISIS a lot, and let's talk about the need for protecting our military, and if we have to, the next step will be, if we have to ban guns, and you link all this stuff up with the Confederate thing, and then the shooting with that, and the Southern, just too many coinky-dink here, people. Too many coincidences. And this is how the CIA works. This is how the powers to be work. This is how all those, MFers work. Is through trickery and deceit and propaganda. And just remember, if you don't think it could ever happen here, that's what they thought in Nazi Germany. If you don't think that if you think this stuff is too far-fetched, well, then you're probably not one of the thinkers. You're probably not one of the people that it's a free spirit that thinks outside the box. In fact, if you rail against this kind of thing, you're probably a troll or a government man, a gooberment man. And I've known a few of those, okay? So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there today. I just thought I'd do this video because I kind of got sucked into the whole scene. But when I got sucked into watching TV after I haven't watched it in so many years, and now all I can do is just watch the picture. I've turned off the sound because it's it's too much to handle. Okay, it's something I can't handle. And then, okay, so one final thing. As you turn off the sound, you see that little ticker tape thing? Here's a good point that you should realize if you're watching this stuff and you see that little ticker tape thing constantly running underneath there. As you're watching the TV, as you're watching the pictures, you're not really watching that ticker tape thing. Guess what's going into your mind? Guess what's being programmed into your mind subliminally? That ticker tape thing. And it's saying all kinds of things on there. When you turn off the sound and just read that, you see what it's saying. ISIS this and ISIS that, and problem with guns, and where did he get the guns, and all this stuff that's just constantly being programmed into your head subliminally, into your subconscious. Because you're not reading it consciously, you're seeing it subconsciously. So I thought I'd just illustrate, how they use propaganda and mind control. And don't buy into this Chattanooga bullshit, Chattanooga choo-choo. Let's derail you. Let's run you down this track, baby. Don't believe a word of it. Think for yourself. Look at the big picture. This is Thunder. I'm out of here. Later.